What's up, y'all? It's Mega Ran. You might have seen WWE's new WrestleMania documentary, and at certain scenes, you might have even seen a fella who looks a little bit like ya boy. It's true though, I'm in it. But the question is, what the heck am I doing on stage at WrestleMania during Roman Reigns' entrance at WrestleMania 40? Please, someone explain. Well, I got you. This story is not easy to tell, so get yourself a seat. It all started in the year 2005. Oh man, we had quite a life. This was quite a time. 2005, gas was mad cheap. George W. Bush was in there, and life was lifing for most of us. Here's how it happened. I was working on an album called The Call. It's my very first album that would have been released in February of 2006. Still working on it in 2005. I get done a song that I really love, which is called Push.
The art that would likely tear my soul apart, so call me conscience, cause I don't spit nonsense. I just give them options, diversify the topics.
You know what else happened in 2005? In February, YouTube went live for the first freaking time. That's correct. All right. So now what's happening is I'm working on an album. I'm putting it together. I really love it. It's called The Call. I got a song that I really love called Push. This song is, I think, one of my favorites. It's just the story of just struggling and persevering. All right. What does that have to do with WrestleMania? All right. I'm getting there. What happens next? I get done the song and I feel like it needs a little something. It needs saxophone. So I don't know any saxophone players. So I go to my favorite site at the time, which was Craigslist. And I find a young gentleman by the name of Frank Machos, who is a saxophonist for hire. And also part-time music teacher, gives lessons, things like that. I hit him up. He comes to the studio. He records an amazing take. And it's really good. It sounds like this. You know what else happened in 2005? In March, The Office debuted. What a time to be alive.
That's what she said.
Anyway, I'm finished my album. It sounds great. Thanks, Frank. We go on our merry way. Next thing you know, I put out the album and it's good. Frank continues to make music, gets a job in the school district of Philadelphia, then becomes the head of the music department of the school district of Philadelphia. Congrats, Frank. At the same time, I'm going the opposite way with education because I quit my job, move out of Philadelphia, and become Mega Ran. Now, the rest is sort of history, but history has a funny way of bringing you back to the beginning. So, we're moving on. Now, fast forward. Philadelphia is the site for historic WrestleMania 40. It's going down. I have an amazingly packed out week for WrestleMania. We are doing so many things. I am hanging out. I'm doing so many shows. Oh my gosh. I had Meanie Mania. I had Wale Mania. I had WrestleCon. And then on Saturday was WrestleMania. And then Sunday was Big E's brunch with my man Andreas Hale. I'm at the brunch eating amazing food, seeing friends, hugging, high-fiving, taking pictures, having so much fun. And as I leave, I get a text from Frank Machos. Now, this isn't the first time I heard from him since 2005. We've been talking for a long time. He hits me up and says, man, I know you're a wrestling fan. You're not going to believe where I am. And I'm like, where are you? He's like, I'm backstage. My kids are going to be a part of Roman Reigns' entrance. And I said, well, that's super dope. I'll see you at the show. He's like, not exactly. I'm going to be backstage in the show, not at the show. And I was like, oh man, well, I guess I won't get to see you. And he's like, well, if you can get here in 30 minutes, you probably can. There's a bus leaving right now from the Kimmel Center. Now, where I was, luckily was not far from the Kimmel Center, but he gave me one piece of instructions. He said, wear all black. Now, I didn't have all black on, so I had to go make a move. Go to the hotel. Now, at this time, you got to make a really important decision because I'm like 7 people deep at this moment. And I'm like, I can't bring 7 people to pull up at the Lincoln Financial Field and say, hey, we're all here and let's do a WrestleMania. Can't do it. everybody can't go, to quote the great Benny the Butcher album title. So I fall back. I grab my compadre, my compatriot, the hall to my Nash Teak Hall, and I say, yo, you want to roll? He says, yeah. He's already wearing black. Cool. I just got to go to my hotel, change. Bam, I go to the hotel, quick switch, and then we out. Boom, go to the Kimmel Center. As we're pulling up to the Kimmel Center, I see a bus in the distance leaving. And I'm like, I bet you that's my bus. Sure enough, it is. I already got out of the Uber. I try to catch the Uber. Uber gone. I text like, yo, man, I think I just missed it. He's like, oh, man, don't worry about it. Follow that bus. I said, okay, how does this work? Call another Uber. Follow that bus. We riding and riding and riding. We get downtown and then into South Philly. And sure enough, we get into Lincoln Financial Field. We got to cross some streets and talk to some people and make some friends. And we get backstage. And it's cold, by the way. We get back there. We're wearing black. We're standing around. They give us a red do-rag to wrap around our wrist because we're going to be a part of the Bloodline. And so they come in to give us a quick little brief about the story. Hey, the Bloodline's the bad guys, scowl. So that's why the picture they got of me in the doc is me kind of scowling. They're like, also, quick little note, none of the things that we did live were actually recorded. So what they did was they took a lot of what we did and then they dubbed it over. They had a recording already of a live version, but they wanted kids to do it, which is why Frank's kids were there. So they got them all in their good looking suits and Frank's up there composing and I can't show you it because I'll probably get flagged for it. So anyway, you saw it, the epic intro. The intro was amazing. So they're like, hey man, and so basically I was supposed to just be there to kind of chaperone and hang out. But Frank was like, you guys know any percussion? Because I think we got a couple drums here. And I'm like, I look at T, he looks at me, he says, darn right we know percussion. Nobody wants somebody around them that just says, oh, I don't know how to do that. Heck yeah, I know how to do it. Do I know how to do it? Not really. But in the moment, you do what you got to do. So we get on stage and we're doing a dry run. We turn around. Triple H is there. Turn around. Paul Heyman's there. Turn around. And in his tracksuit, Roman Reigns is there. He comes out. He's not holding the belt. He's just doing the dress rehearsal, showing everybody what it's going to look like. We just in there. Not actually playing. So anyway, we out there and I realize this is about to happen. As I look into the ring, I can see Snoop Dogg doing what he's about to do. He's rehearsing for announcing the attendance for WrestleMania. So I'm like, this is about to happen. Then I turn around to the side. I see Shane Helms, the Hurricane, and Bobby Roode talking to Jimmy and Jey Uso, working them through what's going to happen in their match. They're showing a little crash pad part where down the ramp where he takes this crazy sick bump. They're showing all these other things that they're doing while we're having a good time. Next thing you know, it's the hurry up and wait portion. All right, guys, back to your trailer. Can you go inside the stadium? No. Can you watch the actual show? No. We actually had to sit out there and we hooked it up somehow. I think we had to use an illegal connection of some sort to cast to the TV because they couldn't get a feed because, again, we're in a tent that's outside of the stadium, not inside the stadium, but directly connected, sort of, but inside the gate, but not inside the stadium, if that makes sense. So we're thinking that we're going to get, WWE catering at least. No, we got Uncrustables, dog. That's what we got. And you know what? I love an Uncrustable, I'm going to say for the record, but we got Uncrustables. Next thing you know, we hurry up and wait. We finally get it on by the time the U.S. title match is on, Logan Paul's match. The kids go nuts for Logan Paul. These are high school kids. Now I understand everything about Logan Paul because these kids went crazy for everything he did. Then the Bayley match shows up and then they're like, all right, guys, you're next. We all get up, we start walking. I see a very tall man. Looks like the Undertaker. Oh, snap. One of the kids goes up, gives Undertaker a little fist bump. And then I say, you know what? YOLO. I give Taker a little fist bump too. And then we keep walking and we go on out there. And it's time to get busy. And you all saw it. Again, I wish I could show it, but I'll show you some stills, I guess. And it was pretty epic. I want the actual recording because again, we were playing at you probably could hear it if you were sitting close to us in the stadium, but you can't hear it on TV. So I would actually love the recorded version of the orchestral Roman Reigns theme. I wonder if it's streaming. I don't know. Anyway, I think this whole story is a note to how dope of friends that I have, and that sometimes they put me in really good opportunities and situations, and to never let go of those great friendships. And when you have fun, talented, smart people around you, 20 years, man, the fact is he knew and remembered that I was a big wrestling fan and thought that I would get a kick out of this opportunity. So big shout out to Frank, big shout out to everybody who helped us out back there. And then once it was over, it was over. It was late. The kids had been there all along. It's child labor laws. So they were like, hey, guys, sorry, you can't actually stay to watch the end of the match. There's a bus waiting outside. So the kids couldn't stay. I stayed. By the way, I had a ticket. I paid, by the way. So when it was time to leave, I figured out a way to double back and get into the building to watch right on time to catch the end of the match. I need to watch the whole show again because the way I watched it was not the most recommended way. I watched it the way wrestlers watch it. Anyway, had an amazing time. Shout out to everybody who got us back there, and man, let's do it again. Oh, watch the doc too and let us know what you think besides my close-up. Make sure you're following me and T-Call for more wrestling updates. I'm Mega Ran, and that's a true story. Peace.
Check what we bring. If this is your first time hearing this, you about to experience top flight lyricism. Backpedal past comp with the quickness. Urgent gear couldn't cure my sickness. Like ovarian cysts, I really respect below who they comparing me with. This is it. Thanks for the patience. I promise this one's worth its weight in gold plating. You can't just comb. I'm on the mic and I'm back at home. Let's get it on. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.